to come back to the flock and get them to become security conscious by what? Imbibing security threat awareness. I had the Minister of Information talking about security consciousness. How? Fine, security consciousness is necessary. What next? How do people become security conscious? Security consciousness is a state of being. And the moment your security threat awareness quotient is in place, security consciousness dawns on you.
Okay, Captain, there's a situation, or sort of a situation right now. I mean, there have been predictions from the Western world about certain attacks coming on Nigeria and all of that. The federal government has responded that there's adequate security in Abuja. I'm not asking, that is, that's the one I know I've seen, adequate security in Abuja. Let's forget the other areas for now. What do we do in this kind of situation where this such a prediction has come forth? The NOA is not breaking down this security apparatus or awareness as it should be, and we have a situation at hand, especially within this period. What do we do?
What do we do is, as I've said earlier, we don't deny nor accept. That's not progress. We have this autopilot mode of jumping into denials the moment something is said. The law of progress is, you've had your say. What are we going to do about it next? Yes, it's normal for us to come out and assure people that this and that won't happen, but I have read country advice across a number of countries to their citizens. And there are certain states of the Federation that have been listed as no-go areas for these citizens within a certain period of time. Add to that the one that says Abuja is being targeted for bombings, blah, blah, blah. These are not meant to shut us down as we seem to think. These are meant to be triggers for our law enforcement agencies to begin to ask, what next? If you don't want that kind of thing, I challenge you, why don't you do a country security advice of your country?
Because I know that on August 24th, the President did sign a directive for the implementation of a policy framework and a national action plan for preventing and countering violent extremism. And when you look at that, and you talk about what you said earlier about a cyberspace, and that should be the next level in our quest to have better security in the country and with, by extension, the sub-region. Do you think that signing of that presidential marching orders to the service chiefs, how well have the service chiefs been able to execute Mr. President's plans?
If you look at the service chiefs across board, service chief is a group of people representing different agencies. The military has been able to actually do what it should, get all those flags off our territory, decimate all those military style attacks and onslaughts on states and capturing them and calling them whatever names they wanted to call them, that is the terrorists. The military has been able to do that. Let's come to the other agencies, the police, the SSS, the DSS. They haven't really, for me, keyed into this anti-terrorism.
What's the delay for them?
The delay for them is seemingly an ego war they are fighting amongst themselves. Some of them are not getting busy doing the real things. They are getting busy doing mundane things.
So while the DSS and the NIA are having issues to sort out national issues now, is that the reason why we see an upsurge in insurgents in the Northeast?
Partly. Let me tell you something. If today your football team, Nigeria's first 11, decided to argue on the pitch and each of them were throwing criticisms at each other, what will their opponents be doing? They'll be listening to everything and saying, okay, this guy has this fault, this guy. Look, let me tell you, these guys make a statement and the adversary is all ears. He's listening. If they see a buckle in your ranks, they will increase. Look, in security we say a chain can only be as strong as its weakest link. So the military link is secure. What about the civil link? They're quarreling. If I was an adversary commander, where do you think I'm going to put my weight on?
So tell us about the latest attacks that we saw in Adamawa, where conflicting figures now, whether it's 4 or 6 policemen that were killed. An unfortunate situation. But that seems to have been an avenue for the insurgents to cash in on, or should I say the terrorists to cash in on. If that happens, and the president is outside the country for terrorism conference, counterterrorism conference, would you say that they always target when it is loudest to make that noise and carry out those attacks? Is that the case?
It could be the case. But what I'm trying to tell you is, from 2015 to date, we've had enough time to actually mend all those little slip holes other than the main gateway. I'll give you an example. At this point in this country, the average ordinary peasant farmer doesn't even know that his prayer habits have to be seriously streamlined. You wake up, Salatul Subi, you pray here. You get to the next prayer point, you are in another place, you just walk in there and pray, because there is no blueprint. What are the minimum requirements for setting up a mosque?
Is it realistic to restrict a person from praying in just about any mosque?
You cannot restrict anyone from praying anywhere, but this is how it works. If you run a mosque, Gimba, and I come to you and say, these are your minimum requirements, just like the minimum requirements you need to write JAMB. For the ordinary man listening out there, that's what I mean. These are the